It's time for the Coach Perry Liles Show with Michael Harrison. The Coach's Show is brought to you in part by Stanford Family Dental and Vision Center, by Sun Bear Studio, and by the Shark 1023. Here now is Michael Harrison.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Coach Perry Liles Show. The Ripley Tigers at home tonight taking on the Caledonia Cavaliers in the first round of the Class 4A playoffs. As the Tigers come in the number 1 seed, the Caledonia Cavaliers come in the number 4 seed out of Region 3. And last week, the Tigers were on the road finishing up the regular season and took a tough loss to New Albany, 28-10. And, Coach, it was a tough loss, but it was also a costly game in that we lost some key players in that contest.
We did, and that's just, our being unlucky. But I was pleased with the guys that replaced them, and I thought we played fine in that. It just didn't go our way.
Yeah, it kind of looked like they came out and really just hit us in the mouth early, and we, for some reason, didn't respond like we have in the past. We, played pretty well in the first half, but as the game wore on, it just seemed like they wanted it a little more than we did.
Yeah, I don't know if that was it. It hit us low a couple times and causing our injuries a problem. And but New Albany, I tried to convince our team that, and everyone in the community, they are not a bad football team. They're really good, and their quarterback did a great job with us. But I would say this, we had opportunities, and we made turnovers. You can't do that. And it beat us 28-10, and 2 of those come off interceptions. So we got to play better. We missed a field goal. There's just things that we normally do that we didn't do this time. And but every game and throughout the season was likely to go that way. I know after you start winning, everybody expects you to win every game, and we can win games, but we have to play our best and do those little things right.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a play or two here, and penalties played a big role in the game as well. We had a season-high 10 penalties, and those really came at a lot of crucial points in the game and caused us to get behind the chains, and then we were unable to convert a lot of those.
You're exactly right. Saturday morning, I spent about 30 minutes talking to them because they always ask for a film, and when I sent it, I just sent him a note to look at some plays, and he called me back almost immediately, and we probably talked 30 minutes, and that's what I said to him. I don't mind missing some calls, and they missed some, and he said they did, and it's just every time that there was a penalty, it seemed to be at a terrible time for us, from calling interference on third down when it truly wasn't interference, calling the hurdling call, which is him himself. That wasn't right, I know.
Yeah, in 31 years, I've never seen hurdling calls.
It is a rule.
Yeah.
It is a rule. And he explained that to me, that the defender needs to be on their feet and position to make a tackle, and somebody tries to hurdle them. That's when they call that. They just had a young guy over there. Their defender, again, they hit low a lot, and we just jumped over one and to avoid him, and they called it. He said that shouldn't have been called. And just things like that, but you have to overcome things like that, and we did not, and it seems like every week we have to overcome that. So hopefully tonight we won't, but we'll do the best we can with what we have. And
talk about the injury situations, those that we sustained in the game. I know Keegan went out on the first play. Keegan Strong was injured. Ty Long was injured later in the half. Did not play in the second half, and then we also had Ethan Crook on our offensive line that was injured.
Yeah, all 3 of those guys will be out this week. I'm not sure how much longer. I know Ty is out for a while because he had a bad sprained ankle. And that's unfortunate for him. He's done so much for us, and he just had twisted his ankle. Keegan got hit in the knee, and that sort of took the life out of us a little bit. And we had to overcome things like that, and we just did not. But I feel real good about the people we got in their place. Jack won 7 games for us, and he'll be back at quarterback. And Keegan, we have several backs that's got a lot of yards. Jalen has been, in recent days, have been the man getting some things done also. So I feel good about coming back. Our offensive line, Aiden Rucker's going to play there, and he's a very experienced kid. He's a 10th grader, but he's really 11th grader right now because he's played good. So we're going to be fine on that. We just have to play good because we're playing a great opponent, and we need to remember that this week.
No doubt. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about tonight's opponent, the Caledonia Cavaliers. Back with Coach Liles in just a moment.
Stanford Family Dental and Vision, located at 306 North Commerce Street in Ripley, is a full-service dental and optometry practice. Serving Ripley and the surrounding area for over 32 years, Dr. John Stanford and Dr. Stephen Stanford offer comprehensive dental care, including oral treatment, exams, and cleanings. Dr. Megan Stanford provides optometry and optical care services for eye exams, glasses, and contacts. For more information or to set an appointment, call 662-837-7822. Everyone at Stanford Family Dental and Vision wish all Tippah County teams good luck this season.
Kudzu 104.9's Corner of the World is chock full of talented musicians, and right in the middle of all that talent is Sun Bear Studio, a boutique recording studio in the heart of Ripley, Mississippi. When you record with us at Sun Bear Studio, we can mix, master, register, and publish your music. We can create CDs and get your music out to all the major streaming platforms. So email us when you're ready at sunbear@jc.media. Record your first or your next hit with us.
Welcome back to the Coach Perry Liles Show. The Ripley Tigers at home tonight, taking on Caledonia in the first round of the 4A playoffs. Caledonia, the number 4 seed out of Region 3. They come in with a record of 4-5 overall. They were 1-3 in their region. The Tigers 9-1 and 4-0 in region play. And it's another new season, Coach. We talked about it when region play started, how that first 5 games of the season was kind of, great, but it didn't really mean anything. The next 4 games would tell the tale. We finished, strong in that, winning the region and gaining home field advantage of the first couple of rounds of the playoffs if we're able to advance. And, that was a big part of it. But now, again, the records are kind of back to 0-0.
Yeah, we're starting fresh, and, I think Region 1 and Region 3 probably the best 2 regions that we have, and we unfortunately match up with them. So their number 4 is not really a number 4. They got beat by Liles from Houston, who's in the North Half Championship last year. Kosciuszko, who's a good team, and they beat Greenwood. So we're playing a good season team. I think Amory beat them. They beat Itawamba. So they match up with us well. They're sort of like us, to be honest with you. So it's going to be a contest.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of their game when we played Amory. I watched the Amory Caledonia game, and they did remind me a lot of our football team and the way they line up and the personnel that they have. So it's going to be a game where we have to eliminate the mistakes, eliminate the penalties, eliminate the turnovers, and try to create some of those. I think last week was the first time I think that we had lost a turnover battle in a game, and that ended up being a big part of it.
No doubt. Every game's like that. And you look at any level of play, you got to protect the football, and you got to score when you have opportunities.
Tell us a little bit about Caledonia, how you think they're going to line up against the Tigers.
Offensively, they run pure what we try to run in the double wing stuff. They run the midline, run the veer, the rocket play, and passes off of that. And they consistently do that. And they're real good at blocking. They play low and hard, and they're real scrappy. So offensively, that's what they give us. Defensively, they got some of the same people on offense that do on defense. They're going to slant a lot and just play fast. And we have to take them very serious on special teams. They do good on that. So they're probably a team like us is trying to run the clock and get that done. So it should be a short game either way it goes.
I know. I think Caledonia a few years ago had an upset as a number 4 seed. So, like you said, they're not a team to be taken lightly. That's not, the case with any team, but especially them. They've done this before. They've come on the road and won a big game against a 1 seed, and the Tigers coming off the game last week. I think maybe that might refocus us just a bit by not playing like we did, and we want to play better this week.
I agree. I think our guys rise to the occasion and get that done. But you're right. Who you're talking about on the upset, they upset Louisville a couple years ago. They played them close last year, and they played them this year close. So the truth is, Caledonia's probably played Louisville better than anybody other than maybe Starkville the last 3 years. So they're a solid football team, and they're nothing. They're not your normal 4 seed.
Top Jalen Brooks last week was probably one of the bright spots in the game. He carried it 24 times for 121 yards. I would assume the plan with the Keegan Naughton game is to get Jalen the ball more offensively. Will that limit him some defensively?
He is just a man out there. I'm gonna be honest with you. We came out and did the region team, and he was most valuable player for the region on all teams, and all the other opposing coaches were for him on that. And for sure, he's the man on our team that's good for us, and it won't limit. It tickles me that if we have opponents that runs 30 plays, he makes 8 tackles out of those 30 plays. So I think has been the leading tackler every game that we played, and he's going to be that way again. And we still have other running backs we're going to go to and throwing the football, all the things that we do offensively. But when we get in that bone, we're going to hand it to him, I'm sure, and he's going to tote it hard for us.
I thought, and Anthony Bell is also probably going to get a little more of the mix in there. He came on a few weeks ago against Amory. Played really well, I thought, from that fullback position, leading, blocking them. But he got to carry the ball a few times, and he looked very good doing that.
Yeah, he's the loader. We did that. That was one way to him to actually play guard, not really realize it. We just put 24 on him and let him lead block. So it fooled him a little bit. But he's a good player, and you're right. He's going to get some carries. And we, as a team, we just have to take up the slack where we missed with Keegan and Ty, and just have to. That's what a good team does.
And, Aiden Ketchum was pressed into duty last week at corner. And Albany did what good teams do, and that's that they, found that we had an inexperienced player out there, and they kind of took advantage of him a couple of times. But overall, I thought Aiden, played pretty well. He just got beat a couple of times.
The one time he really got beat was they swapped him to number 13 sides. He covered him all night. And for that one time, they didn't make the swap quick enough, and number 7 beat him deep. Other than that, he played excellent. He graded out good. He had a penalty called on him one time. That
wasn't a penalty, yeah.
But the truth is, he graded out great. I mean, he did a good job. We just got beat that one time, and you got to swap like the coach just told him. That was the plan. We did it every time but that one time.
And two, I think probably this week, if he gets at the starting role on the defensive side, talk about like being prepared as a player like that. Versus, coming off the bench versus knowing that you're going to be the guy that's got to be out.
Well, that's right. I will say this, Coach Allen, we have been practicing him as a backup both at safety and at cornerback, and we still have Aiden Wilson that plays there some. So we got some other choices there, but I think he's going to start the game at corner and do that. Our safeties, he can play that too. He can play safety. So we pretty much have a couple more that can do it. In that particular game, if I knew Ty was going to get hurt, I'd have put him at corner. but I didn't. You never know that because he could play that at that time then too. So, but Ketchup did a great job. I told him just a couple of days ago that, man, I'm very proud of you because you did your part, and he really did.
Yeah, and it was good to see him get that opportunity. A senior that's really hadn't got to play a great deal, but able to come in that position and fill that role that he's been doing. And you gotta love kids like that are not pouting because they're not playing. They're not, they're just part of the team. They want to do their part, and then when it comes their time, they're able to step up.
That's right. That's what a true team is, and he definitely has done that.
All right, we're going to take our final break. We'll come back and wrap things up with Coach Liles in just a moment.
Hey there! Did you know that every week radio reaches 90% of all people with disposable income? That's more than any other media. The fact is, radio is the #1 most effective and cost-effective ways to reach current and potential customers. If you have a business, service, or event you want to let folks know about, put it on the radio. If you want to tell our dedicated Shark listeners about your business or event, click advertise at shark102.3.com and put it on the radio.
Stanford Family Dental and Vision, located at 306 North Commerce Street in Ripley, is a full-service dental and optometry practice. Serving Ripley and the surrounding area for over 32 years, Dr. John Stanford and Dr. Stephen Stanford offer comprehensive dental care, including oral treatment, exams, and cleanings. Dr. Megan Stanford provides optometry and optical care services for eye exams, glasses, and contacts. For more information or to set an appointment, call 662-837-7822. Everyone at Stanford Family Dental and Vision wish all Tippah County teams good luck this season.
Welcome back to the Coach Perry Liles Show. The Ripley Tigers at home tonight, taking on Caledonia in the first round of the Class 4A playoffs. Coach, as always, we appreciate you taking time to visit with us, and we wish you good luck tonight in the playoffs.
Well, I appreciate it very much, and thank y'all for what y'all do. Go Tigers.
That's Coach Perry Liles. This is Michael Harrison saying stay tuned for Ripley Tiger football coming up next.
You've been listening to the Coach Perry Liles Show with Michael Harrison, brought to you by the Stanford Family Dental and Vision Center, Sun Bear Studio, and by the Shark 1023.